I know, right?
Yeah. What that song say, Carlos? So let the sideshow begin. Hurry, hurry, come on in, right?
And
Come
that,
on, come on
Mm-hmm.
in.
Mm-hmm.
well, I've been told that a time or two, but
Oh, I bet you have. And I bet you oblige and go right on in.
So let the sideshow begin. Hurry, hurry.
yes,
Come right
Yeah,
on
yes,
in.
what
Hmm.
how we are so blessed to see each other twice in 1 week.
We are.
we are. So high raindrops, we're back together. The gang is back together. We are happy to see each other. Who knows? Maybe doing this more than once a week is in our future.
Yeah,
Maybe.
bring it on.
I'm ready. Need to buy some more shirts. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
The way I be air conditioned down below while we do this show is crazy
What you
sometimes.
got on, Dustin, down below?
Look, depending on the day. Today is a Wednesday.
Oh,
Hump day. It's hump day.
Hello.
um,
Do the Humpty Hump.
oh,
Just
I
Oh,
miss
watch
doing,
it do
I miss doing the Humpty Hump. When's the last time you did the Humpty Hump, Carlos?
the.
well, I'm more of an MC Hammer pumps in your bumps type of guy. So
Really?
Didn't he have
I
on
don't
like a
know.
little zebra? He had on like a little black and white number in that video, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I remember
love,
that.
I'm a fan of PETA. I love animals, animal print. I love a stallion. I love horses. I've been called
Oh,
Mr. Ed a few times.
I
Yeah,
love riding
respectful.
horses too. I love riding horses. So fun.
Yes. When's the last time you rode a horse?
It's been a while. I would like to ride a moose though. Have you ever ridden a moose? That's one
I
level
swear,
up from a
I
horse.
swear, I have not.
Mm,
No.
that might be fun.
I've heard of loose knuckles, not moose, but is that this?
Oh, loose? Oh, never that. You gotta keep the. You gotta drink. You do a lot of. Oh, you asked me off camera something. I do. I drink a collagen drink every day. That kind of maybe that's been it. Like kind of
Mm-hmm.
collagen drink. I've been
Okay.
liquid collagen. Yeah, it definitely like tightens it up. Your face, your skin, whatever collagen is.
I know. I love things that are tight. I think it's
Oh my
just
god.
it makes
What
yeah.
did don't the old school ladies say you put a little talcum in your bath water? Ain't that what it was?
Oh, I don't know. Is that what
Not
they do?
talcum, talum. Anyway,
Talent.
this
Not
probably
was
has no this probably has no place here. Let's just
They
move forward.
probably.
How
I
y'all
know.
doing tonight?
Look how far we've gotten from reality television. Come on, you
So
like tight
Claudia,
things.
somebody has a question for you. Magnolia Bell wants to know. So Claudia, what's the difference in the ride from the horse and the moose?
It's just a little inside joke. A friend of mine just mentioned the moose, and I was like, it just got in my mind like, dude, what's a moose? What a moose must be like. And I started thinking about it like, I haven't ridden it though, just a full disclosure.
Okay,
I just
Dustin, are
think a
you more
horse
of
would
a
just be bigger than a horse, right?
Dustin, are you more of a rider of a horse? Are you more of the gatekeeper? Do you like keep things in the stall?
I hate being around horses because they smell like shit. They're just pretty to look at. Wrong animal.
Wrong.
Wrong animal. You
Oh
heard
my
me?
Oh my God. Listen. What I'm going to do is so there's a super chat that occurred really early. I want to read this first. First of all, high raindrops. Happy Wednesday.
Hey,
Thank you
raindrops.
all for stepping into the emergency episode with Claudia, Dustin, and I. So much is happening that we decided to just give you guys a bonus episode this week. But before we get into the shot topics, Brandon Martin has a question.
Okay.
Claudia, I literally just watched a viral clip of Claudia wearing Jennifer out with the heavy read and Carlos was hosting. What show was that?
The next 15.
Yeah. Give it
And
up
it
for
was
a great show.
wow,
That
it
was a
was
great
a
show.
lot. It was a lot. And yes, I wore that ass out. Because the whole season she was trying to make me into a whore, and I was the only one not fucking on that show. Don't believe me, ask Karamo because he said the same thing, and he was my ride or die, had my back. Everybody was like doing stuff and cross-pollinating and all kind of stuff was happening. And I'm so sick of that tired old narrative. When a bitch don't have anything to say, they're just quick to call you broke or a whore, which I am neither nor neither. So yeah, and if you have stuff about you all over there that we can be verified through visual aids, then don't come for me. because as a former journalist, I will always have one in the tuck. So no, if you buck, and you will get snuck with my intel.
Shout out to Karamo.
Love Karamo.
Yes. Shout out
Yes.
to Karamo, Jennifer Williams, Bazino, Tiffany Pollard, and Laura Gavon. It was a great. The show wasn't ahead of its time, but
It was.
the beauty is you guys can find it on Peacock. So that's the beauty of all of that.
I wasn't gonna go to the reunion because I was so emotionally worn out. Remember, I've never missed a reunion, but I was like, I'm not coming. Why do I need to come just to get insulted more? But then I came late. I never do that. And I just was like, let's just get this shit going. I was just sick of it. I'm like, no, lady. And then you know what I will say at the end? Her mom passed, and when her mom was going through it was cancer. I was the only one that put together a whole care package for her. Like, I can put differences aside if I know you're going through something. She threw in the trash and was very disrespectful. And I still gave it another shot. And at the end of wrapping of the season, there was a cancer event in Los Angeles that we were invited to go to. And it was important to her. I still showed up to support. I told the cameras, hey, this ain't for y'all right now. And I had a one-on-one talk with her. And I said, listen, if we didn't have the show, there's no reason for us to be fighting besides you were dating my ex, which I don't care about. Please take him. I didn't care about that. But I was like, bigger than that, your mom passed and I'm just here for you. And we don't need to be fighting. This is like, we don't have a thing that we need to be fighting over. It's more for TV. You know, I feel like she was tired of being seen as Evelyn's whipping board and, you know, like her do girl. And I was just the one that was just chosen for her to buck up with, like, I'm a new woman now. I'm strong now. And I just wasn't the one that ended up being in a crosshair. So I try not to take it personally. And at the end, I still said some really, you know, some things that is between us in support of her losing her mom. Because listen, all reality bullshit aside, that's real life stuff. So I do have a heart, even though the same heart was not ever given to me. But I can still give people that made it their whole entire existence to, you know, drag me and give me a rep. So, and I hope we left it there. I think we're done. It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
it was definitely. I had my cell phone like, is this you? Is this?
Dustin's like, y'all are done, and I could not agree more. Yes, it's been 10 years. You two are in great places in your lives. So, listen, there's no need to rehash your past. But, however, it seems like
always.
I was going to say, apparently, when it comes to Giselle Bryant and Robyn Dixon's podcast, Reasonably Shady, that's on the Black Effect Network, they decided to have a conversation on the rumor that K. Michelle is a new Atlanta housewife. So Claudia and Dustin on the podcast, Robyn Dixon, as you all know from Potomac, as well as Giselle Bryant, had a conversation. And what was said was, I think Atlanta has run out of people, Robyn said, referring to reports that K. Michelle and Angel Love is from Basketball Wives, might be joining the Bravo franchises, which is the Real Housewives of Atlanta for K. Michelle allegedly. And then it is Angel Love allegedly joining Married to Medicine. Robyn continued, Dustin and Claudia, I really thought that the network or the show tried to avoid crossovers from different networks. But I'm like, Atlanta is running out of people because you are using people from other networks now. Before I get into K. Michelle's clapback, I want to read what Giselle said. And I want to talk about this amongst us first before I read K. Michelle's clapback. Giselle then said, I'm not mad at it. At first, I was like, what? K. Michelle? That's weird. But out of the love and hip hop world, there are very few people that I feel like have left that behind them and have gone on to do so many other things that it really wasn't a factor. So her being a housewife, I'm not mad at it. I know this is something Claudia and Dustin we already talked about. Before I get into K. Michelle's clapback, why do y'all think this is such a hot topic, especially amongst Bravo celebrities? I want to start with Dustin.
I think we can kind of narrow the lens here and take it from the kind of broad stroke of amongst Bravo celebrities to Well, you know what? Let's keep it there, and then we'll get to Robyn specifically next. I think that most Bravo celebrities, and this is where Claudia is a unicorn amongst the rest of these Bravo celebrities, right? Their claim to fame is being featured and documented on Bravo, as part of a Bravo series. Claudia was already a Claudia Jordan. Claudia had been Jordan before she even got on the Housewives, and so it was a little bit different. Same with Candy Burris and others, Drew Sidora, many others that have come into the fold.
Kenya
Moore, you know what I'm saying? Same with them. And so I think that sometimes the Bravo celebrities have kind of enjoyed the gatekeeping of sorts when it came to opportunities within the network that was there because it kept them and maintained their status as notable because they were chosen and selected by Bravo. So once they open them doors up to other people, it kind of makes you have to have a little bit something else going on in order to be considered. And I think that's a threat to people who have thrived within that zeitgeist. So, and I think Robyn Dixon especially is one of them. My thing is, if Atlanta running out of people, then maybe your ass need to be looking at houses. If you know what I'm saying, you need to move to Atlanta. If Atlanta is now becoming second chance city, maybe you need to be looking at jobs. There's a lot of coaches. She said, "Why I want to coach collegiate basketball." There's several schools there where he can have opportunities. A lot of laundromats. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit in Atlanta.
That's it, raw.
So that's my thing, and also the fact that Robyn said the fact that Robyn started all this shit is exactly why maybe there is still a place for her on the Housewives cast, right? Because she stirred all of this up. Maybe if she had done more of that blatantly instead of trying to do it second-handedly or in a sneaky way when she was on the cast, maybe she would still be there. So that's my thing. God damn it, if they're running out of people, then maybe this is your chance. Maybe you need to get your ass down to Atlanta and get in front of a camera.
Claudia Jordan.
I slightly disagree. I will say this. Because we do commentary, what she said was nothing different than the kind of stuff that we might say. They running out of people. And I think she may have a point, but I think people just running with it. It's K. Michelle. She's very not polarizing, but we gonna turn up with K. Michelle. And when I watched the whole clip, she wasn't trashing K. Michelle at all. She actually was giving her a lot of props and saying at first, I was like, nah, but then the more I thought about it, she's the one that could go in there and stir it up, and she actually gave her props. And that's sometimes what I hate about these clickbaity titles. It makes it look like she was really coming for her and had a lot of shit to say, and then maybe K. Michelle doesn't watch the whole clip, and she just sees the one part and doesn't see where they were basically giving her props and saying, if someone can do it, it is K. Michelle. And I kind of don't like that because that could easily happen to us. They take one part of our conversation and don't hear it in its full conversation and full context. And it seems like you're hating. And I don't think she was. I don't think she was. And I do think, now the shows are definitely cross-pollinating, cross-promoting. Someone might be asked to be on Love and Hip Hop or Atlanta Housewives or Potomac or whatever. I mean, fuck it, I'm gonna hate again. Don't nobody say nothing when Ty be going from every single reality show, dating every girl from every reality show. It's just kind of like the sign of the times. People are just their cross media is changing. You're not just exclusive to one brand now. They're saying that you can have success with bringing someone that has a fan base from another franchise coming over here and stirring up. I don't see anything wrong with it. I also don't think that Robyn, I don't think that and Giselle, I don't think they came from a bad place at all. I don't personally.
Okay. I do raindrops. We are going to get to the Rasheeda and Yandy scene of it all later in this episode. We're live. We're first talking about K. Michelle clapping back at Robyn Dixon from the Potomac Housewives. I wanna ask y'all this question again before I read K. Michelle's response. I'm getting the sense that K. Michelle being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, allegedly, has a lot to do with classism. It has a lot to do with elitism. And it low-key has to do with that girl over there, right? I want to have a real conversation about this because I think K. Michelle being announced as possibly joining the Real Housewives of Atlanta, coming from Love and Hip Hop, I'm starting to get a sense that it's becoming that K. Michelle isn't that classy enough. These are things I saw. She's not classy enough to be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And my thing is this, and this is somebody who started day one, season one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was there with Nene Leakes, Sheree Whitfield, Kim Zolciak, Deshaun Snow, and Lisa Wu. When we started that show, there wasn't this concentration on those ladies being classy. I don't know where it came from that people thought the Real Housewives of Atlanta was a classy show. It was never, and that's me being a former producer. It was never a classy show. Granted, yes, they may have highlighted more of the wealthy people who were on the show at the time. We saw Deshaun Snow's 10,000 square foot home. But the other ladies, to the audience and to all of us, lived moderately well. Nobody was in the mansions like on Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. I think Beverly Hills has the sort of halo over them as being the sort of like classier show. Although, once again, Lisa Rinna threw a drink at somebody. Brandy Glanville slapped Lisa Vanderpump face. Okay. Brandy Glanville also slapped Eileen Davidson, a soap actress. When it comes to Black people on the Real Housewives franchise, you guys who are saying K. Michelle does not belong, whether you're on TV or not, what you are saying is that as a Black person, you don't think K. Michelle, as a Black woman, deserves to grow into being somebody that can go to another show. Dustin made a very good point about Claudia Jordan. Claudia Jordan has been famous since she was a teenager, right? When I met her, I didn't, and this is no shade to my girl Claudia, I didn't think to myself, I wonder how classy she is. I wonder what the square footage of her home is.
I was in an apartment.
When I cast Claudia Jordan, pitched her, it had nothing to do. I didn't ask her how much money she had. I didn't ask her to send me photos of her home. It was about the fact that I saw this strikingly beautiful woman who had a friendly situation with Kenya Moore as somebody who could fit the standard of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, which was a beautiful, accomplished woman who know how to be amongst women and stand up for herself. That's what the fuck this show is about. You guys, to me, care so much. I'm annoyed because, listen, there's a lot happening. But I'm annoyed about this classism. The Real Housewives of Atlanta is not a classy show. Potomac is not a classy show. Jersey is not a classy show. Salt Lake City, none of them are classy shows. All of them has had physical altercations. Just because Love and Hip Hop is known for it does not mean that anybody that comes from Love and Hip Hop should be stuck in a box.
I think that was something that, like, and have worked with both of those shows as yourself, Carlos, I think it's always been a thing like, well, we're not, it's kind of like we're not like them. We're here, you know, we don't fight like them. And for a while they could say that for a little while, but then it has definitely changed where there was definitely more of that behavior on that show as well. So yeah, it was like kind of like it was a classism thing. You know, like you think the housewives were perceived to be classy. They were supposed to be classier, whether or not they always were. I mean, there's an argument to be made. And you got to say, and Love and Hip Hop, there are definitely way more fights. But let's be clear.
I will say this.
There's been fights on both.
There have been fights on both. I will say this. Love and Hip Hop shows more of their fights.
Oh, yeah, because I do remember a certain someone get in a fight in a hall, in an alley, and they never showed it. And I was like, see, y'all keep being okay with violent behavior, but then acting like this is some classy shit. And it wasn't. But yeah, I think it's a class thing. Like, well, I remember when there's reports out that I may be joining Love and Hip Hop Miami, which I've done a couple scenes with Rada because she's on there, Michael Blackson. And it was like, oh, what a downgrade. She went from Atlanta Housewives to Love and Hip Hop. And it was definitely like this class stuff being thrown at me, like I must be desperate somehow, or things must not be going well. Honey, the only class I care about is what class my check is in. I like to work and make money. As long as I'm not out here fighting, playing myself and embarrassing myself, you will see Claudia Jordan on a set and in the credits. Okay.
Also, what the fuck is it to you? What
the same people that be in the comments.
What level I'm on? Like, you're a viewer, enjoy the show just like we enjoy the shows that we watch. People got to stop acting like just because, and this back to your earlier statement, Carlos, about this opinion of a lot of people that there is a class distinction in the casting efforts of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and other cities versus Love and Hip Hop, which there is a different talent pool, right? And a different talent pool criteria that applies to these shows, which is exactly why K. Michelle is a rare case that has been able to navigate right across into this into the Bravo universe now, right? She can do it. Tammy Rivera could have done it. Toya Johnson could. What's Toya's?
Toya Rushing, who by the way auditioned to be on the show, and I was there doing her casting tape as well.
Yeah,
because
like Toya Rushing, she could do it. There's a lot of women who have full lives that could fill up the space that a Real Housewife requires. I think because of some of K. Michelle's more sensational behaviors in the past, people are surprised that the choice was her. But that's what it is. And just because a lot of people think something with I don't care what nobody says, the introduction of the comment section started all this shit. Because once people started adding value to opinion, we ended up in this space where now creative minds are second guessing their instincts, you know what I'm saying, because of public opinion, because of the fucking comments, or because of what an audience has to say. And while it does matter if an audience receives a project and watches a show or listens to a music project, their opinion is something that they're entitled to, but doesn't have any value towards the project. And that's where people get it fucked up. So they come up with these ideas that there is a classist element to the casting of Real Housewives shows, and now they feel as if they have authority to determine who's good enough and who's not, so much so that K. Michelle's not my favorite person, right? But I don't think she deserves to be slapped in the face every day with a comment that she's not good enough for this damn show. Quiet as it's kept, that's why Robyn ended up getting what she got, because K. Michelle was probably sick and tired of seeing people say that she was not good enough to be a part of the Bravo universe. And I think that's a problem. If a lot of people think something, then people just decide that is now a rule or a law, similar to the conversation regarding seating arrangements at the Real Housewives reunions. People have decided that there is a value to what seat you're sitting next to and all that other shit. And countless times, producers, people involved have said that there is not. People just decide that it is. And so now where you're sitting is a big deal. Y'all got to back up off of that sometimes and just enjoy the entertainment and let that be that.
I agree.
Would we be being fake, though, not fake or disingenuous, if we don't say that there is a class thing going on, especially when it comes to Zeus, Love and Hip Hop, and Atlanta?
Yes,
there was supposed to be, because like the other day, even with us, I got to keep it a buck, when it was brought up about Jocelyn being on Real Housewives of Miami, we all was like,
Well, my reaction wasn't rooted in classism. My reaction wasn't rooted in classism, and that's exactly why I just articulated it the way I did when I said there's a difference in the talent pool and in the criteria for the talent pool. It's simply a different net being cast. It doesn't mean that if someone feels that there's a class distinction, that's a personal slant. You know what I'm saying? It's simply a different call sheet that goes out. They're going to ask for different types of people, and they're trying to profile a different worldview or a different perspective. You're going to ask for different people, and certain shows are crafted to show a different perspective. That's just what it is. To me, if you think the people on Zeus or Now That's TV or Love and Hip Hop are better or worse than the people on Bravo, you got some internal work to do, because it's just a different talent pool. That's it.
I agree with the talent pool, because even when I said that, look, I would love to see Jocelyn Hernandez on Miami. The reason why I said that, and I wasn't saying that to be like just start a thought-provoking conversation. Jocelyn is from Miami, Florida. Jocelyn speaks fluently in Spanish. I am a huge fan of Miami Housewives. I do feel like, this is my opinion, as a viewer of that show, I do feel like it's missing something, right? And look, I think because Jocelyn is a Puerto Rican woman from a different world than those women, I just feel like it could be interesting. And that's the reason why, look, the world is evolving, and I know the three of us have been told once in our lives that we did not belong in certain rooms, right? I'll speak for myself. I know I have. And I may be Carlos King, but I still get that today. Today, people still see me as, we love you, but we don't love you as much as to bring you into this room. And that is some real shit. So listen, me just being completely transparent, maybe I am taking it personally when I see someone like K. Michelle being the topic of conversation because she was on a VH1 show.
Yeah.
I work with her. K. Michelle has never physically put her hands on anybody. She threw a candle at Rasheeda, but my goodness gracious, Marge Joseph spilled the whole drink on Danielle Staub. Like, y'all gotta stop looking at Black women on certain shows as if they don't belong. And that's why when it comes to Zeus, look, I may not watch Zeus, and it has nothing to do with classism. It has to do with, at my big age, I like I like a story. I like a beginning, a middle, and an end. When I was in my 20s, I watched Bad Girls Club every freaking Monday. I think it came on. And that's why I love Natalie Nunn. I know all those girls, Tanisha Thomas. But it doesn't mean I have to say, don't watch Zeus. No,
right. Or
watch
Zeus should not exist because you're not into that type of entertainment. That's the difference here, right?
Yes.
People decide that their opinion or their feeling about something can now determine a rule or the existence of something. And I think that's the distinction where people kind of have to police their damn self, right? Like, just because you have a feeling about something, like Carlos, you can want Jocelyn to be you can think that Jocelyn would be a great choice for the Real Housewives of Miami, and there's nothing wrong with you feeling like that. I can agree or I can disagree. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean we're bad people. You understand what I'm saying? And it's okay for things to be subjective. Like, all of that is okay. And so if a person feels like there is a classist element to this internally for them, then you need to do that internal work your damn self, because I can literally say I'm not speaking from that place.
Yeah,
So,
and I know your heart, and I know you're not. Yeah, no.
That's my story. You know what I tell you all the time. If our grandmamas and our mamas could sit up and watch Guiding Light and Passions and One Life to Goddamn Live and The Bold and the Beautiful and All My Children, if they could watch all of that, then we can watch our stories, which just might be Baddies Africa, which just might be Baddies Gone Wild or Jocelyn's Cabaret. Okay, or maybe South Central Baddies on Now That's TV. You know, maybe it's one of those shows. That's my comfort television. Call it what you want.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. And I think that's fair. Claudia's having Wi-Fi issues. Don't worry, y'all. We did not kick her out. Yeah, she is not going to find her luggage.
No, she ain't no Farrah around this month.
All my pop culture fans know that. So, Dustin, I want to read to you what K. Michelle said in response to Robyn Dixon and Giselle Bryant's conversation. K. Michelle wrote in the comments, "Why be so worried about me and my overly educated and successful self and what I might be doing, Robyn? You ran out of a job a long time ago. You would love to be recycled, you little couch potato, just yapping. You should have ran through the hotel lobby where your husband was, lady. Giselle, you look beautiful. Leave me alone and let me go yodel in peace." K. Michelle did not stop there. She continued, Dustin, with, "I'm around here selling out shows and you selling baseball hats, but you worried about me and what I might be doing? The nerve of this couch potato." Listen, not for nothing, K. Michelle's funny. Bye.
As hell. Which is why she's going to add value to that cast. One of the reasons why she'll add value to that Real Housewives of Atlanta cast when she holding that peach like we know she's about to. Now, here's the thing. That was hilarious. Comedic value always makes something better. She went there with the wine shit, whatever, but that was hilarious. Couch potato was funny as hell. And I could see her saying it. It was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? It was what it was. And I think that even though I personally don't think that Robyn said anything offensive or disrespectful, I think the grouping of K. Michelle's casting with the notion that Atlanta must be running out of people, as if the other choices would have been more reasonable than her, I think that that's the negative slant that kind of registered with K. Michelle and prompted her response. So although I don't think that Robyn like disrespected her blatantly in any way, you know, and she simply did just share a perspective, it still was one that's not positive. You know what I'm saying? It's like you saying that, damn, since they cast me, they must be running out of the people. Well, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? I think that's how K. Michelle received it. You know what I'm saying? But Couch Potato was funny as hell, and that's that.
Claudia, did you I know you were gone, but you want me to, that's okay. That's okay. Do you want me to read you what K. Michelle said, or you remember it?
Can you read it again? Because the way my memory is.
No, all good. So K. Michelle said, why be so worried about me and my overly educated and successful self and what I might be doing? Robyn, you ran out of a job a long time ago. You would love to be recycled, you little couch potato, just yapping. You should have ran through that hotel lobby where your husband was, lady. Giselle, you look beautiful. Leave me alone and let me go YOLO. She continued, I'm around here selling out shows and you selling baseball hats, but you worried about Dustin, stop.
I think about Dionne Warwick every time she say baseball hats. I think about Dionne Warwick and them hats that she be wearing. And it just every time she said, when I see that she said baseball hats, which is a very black way to describe Robyn's hats. Okay. I think about them hats Dionne Warwick be wearing, and it just takes me out. If Robyn was smart, that's who she would have had modeled them off. I bet you them hats would have been out the window.
Oh my
God. Dionne would have had them all.
No, that's actually smart. Okay, so Claudia, she said, while you running around here selling baseball hats, but you worried about me and what I might be doing, the nerve of this couch potato.
I think the punishment didn't fit the crime. I feel like the shade from Robyn was a 2. I think the clapback from K. Michelle was a 22, which, you know, that's what you're gonna get, right? So listen, now it's on 10. Now it's up, I guess. But I mean, if we didn't do commentary, like we do commentary, we could find ourselves in this position easily. And does everything we say deserve to get a level 22 clapback? No. I do think two things to be true at the same time. I do think I think Robyn caught it because K. Michelle had enough of being dragged by so many other people having their opinion about if she was good enough for Housewives, accomplished enough to get whatever the hell. And I think she's probably was at her wit's end. It's more about that. Now, I can agree with some of the things that Robyn said about recycling people and using the same people over and over again, because we do be wanting like that fresh. It doesn't have to be a celebrity, like someone that just brings that energy. But I do think
not to cut you off. Now that
yes.
That I can get with. Sorry, go ahead.
But I do think K. Michelle doesn't deserve as much as the smoke, because I do think that she, with all that being said, she has shown growth. She has moved on. I mean, I didn't like when she was hitting people with flowers and throwing stuff at the candle, all that kind of stuff. And as long, I don't want to see her doing that in the Housewives capacity. But like, let's not act like this woman has not evolved. She's entered into a new area of music in the country scene. She's probably been sick of getting attacked by them white people, mad that black people are taking over their spaces. She's been getting dragged for probably a few years with this stuff now. She's gone on to get married. She was on Queen's Court, where she did a really good job. She showed growth on that show. So she's probably like, God damn, yeah, I was ghetto and hood back then, but I have evolved since then. And I'm kind of sick and tired of people saying I'm not good enough still. I understand what she would feel frustrated then. And I think Robyn was probably just like the straw that broke the camel's back.
There you go, right there, friend.
I don't think what Robyn said really warranted all that. I think Robyn caught the heat from all the other people talking shit about K. Michelle. And K. Michelle was like, well, goddamn, you about to get it for everybody else. That's kind of what I feel like. Because I don't think Robyn was doing evil. Robyn was doing a little shit, but you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't when you do a podcast. You give him something, you a hater. You don't give him something, you're boring. And I think that's
they do it to. They just did it to me on our show this week Monday when I was talking about the Housewives of New Jersey. Because even though I don't be in the comments, that don't mean all my cousins and shit back home do. And it was a lady named Michelle Barron that called me a bitch for no reason. She was like, Dustin is a bitch. Some lady named Michelle Barron. She had them Charlotte Airport white rocking chair teeth in her mouth, big ass front teeth. Leaning back like that. Everybody know that's the best part about the Charlotte Airport, them right rocking chairs.
Oh yeah, I love those chairs.
That's what her teeth look like. And my cousins ran it right down to me. Call me a bitch for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And all I said was what happened with Teresa and them. Never took a side, never did none of that. But you damn right. So people like that Michelle Barron lady are just gonna be negative, you know what I'm saying, just for the sake of. and it's a part of it. So unfortunately, Robyn just she caught K Michelle, you know.
I did be seeing a girl that's negative a lot in our comments saying Michelle. Maybe it's the same one, but she's probably not getting any dick or pussy, and she's probably angry.
I don't care nothing about her ass.
Probably got a
you
bad
know
tooth in the back,
saying?
you know what I'm saying? Low titties, hanging low, stretch marks on her stomach. You know, she's probably got a whole bunch of
Yeah.
shit going on. And then
Yeah.
she's mad at you over here looking fine, in shape, got a big ass dick, got money, got a rooftop, you got views of the city, and here she is hanging on your every. You know what I'm saying? I get
And
it.
it's all good. You know what I'm saying? She definitely looked like Uncle Phil a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It was all good though. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, it's all good.
We love the raindrops. She ain't no raindrop.
I didn't see that comment.
I didn't either. My cousin sent me. They sent me a screenshot. Well, I ain't gonna show the screenshot, but they went to her YouTube account and screenshotted her picture and sent it to me. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to end my
and you look like an owl, Michelle Barron. I just want you to know that you literally look like an owl in the face and with jowls.
Lord,
go ahead, Carlos.
Jesus. That's okay. So
poor Claudia.
I will say this.
Caught her up a little bit.
Is Claudia frozen again?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, she is. Okay. I will say this.
Yeah.
I agree with all of you guys in terms of Robyn. Listen, I've been around Robyn. Robyn's job as a podcast host is to talk about the topic. Yes. Like you just said, Dustin, you gave Teresa so much praise. You made a comment that people didn't like, and all of a sudden it erased everything positive you said. Which, by the way, Teresa liked the post that I posted of you talking about that. So I want you to know that. And by the way, Teresa wanted me to tell you, hi, Dustin.
Hi, Teresa. What's up, Teresa? I hope you're on the cast this season, love.
Yeah, so Teresa wanted me to tell you, she says hello.
Thank
Dustin
you, Teresa.
Ross, and
I liked her Smeg kitchen appliances. I love a Smeg set. Do you have a mixer in your kitchen, Carlos? You got a KitchenAid?
No.
Should I get my mama? Yes, my mama has had a KitchenAid and my grandmother. All them had them for like 30 years. You got to get you a KitchenAid or a Smeg mixer. Yeah.
Is it Simon?
I think Simon has other things to worry about besides your Wi-Fi now, Claudia. It must be somebody else. I was gonna say a name, but I'm not gonna do that because that will blow the internet. I'll text you. But what I will say is this. Robyn's job is to be a podcast host and to state her opinion. All three of us get dragged. I have seen people tag some of my friends in reality TV saying Carlos is laughing at people talking about you. Like y'all try to get people to like come for us, and that's not okay. Y'all either want an entertaining show or you don't. But the fact that some of y'all run till that is foul. But I digress.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
someone said it's Martell. It's Martell. They said.
Oh. Not to say
that. It's only mine.
I may have misspelled the name. Don't say live, Claudia.
It's either Martell or Ty. Ty Young.
I will vote for Ty. Okay, so are y'all ready to get into Love and Hip Hop Atlanta?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Raindrops, the time has come for us to talk about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and the infamous scene between Yandy and Rasheeda. So a lot of the Raindrops, you guys felt like, okay, some of y'all don't watch the show consistently, but obviously everybody knows who Yandy and Rasheeda is. And Dustin, Claudia, for the past couple of seasons of Atlanta, Yandy went from New York City, where she lived, and moved to Atlanta with her family. Because of that, she was now on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We all know, especially Claudia being a reality star, that look, when you're a part of the Housewives family, the Love and Hip Hop family, y'all speak, y'all get to know each other. Y'all may not be the best of friends, like Claudia and Mimi Faust, but you're cordial. You have a relationship of some sorts because of the convenience of being on the show. That's what Yandy and Rasheeda's relationship was, apparently. Yandy came on Atlanta. And what has happened is these two had an epic sit down that literally broke the internet between yesterday and today. And I want us to get into it and really crack down what happened. Dustin, like me, watches all of the episodes. And Claudia, I know you're catching up on it too. So I want to start by saying this. What the main thing that happened between Yandy and Rasheeda, and Dustin, you have the floor to help me out, brother.
I
Now,
got you.
I'm gonna get to my podcast that I did with Kirk and Rasheeda later. That's 80% of the issue. But let's talk about the 20%. The 20% is this. Erica Banks, a female rapper, cast member on the show, told Yandy something in regards to Jasmine, who is the who is the mother of Kirk's son, one of his sons that youngest son that he had outside the marriage. So Claudia, she's frozen again. Oh, yeah, she's not. Okay, good.
No, that's just my flawless face, my skin.
That's right, Claudia.
Yes, Fenty Beauty. Rihanna, give her a Fenty Beauty deal. Okay, so Claudia, Kirk cheated on Rasheeda
with Jasmine
had a baby. Okay. Erica Banks said that Jasmine has a female friend who was allegedly messing around with Mendici. And Erica Banks intimated that Rasheeda was around, heard the conversation, and did not defend Yandy. So Erica Banks told the girls this. Rasheeda was like, I wasn't there, and it's not my business.
One note.
Go ahead. No, please.
Because prior to that, if I'm not mistaken, prior to that, when Yandy had been in the company of Jasmine, right, who is the mother of Kirk's youngest son, who was conceived illegitimately, right? When Yandy had been around Jasmine, Yandy had been very blatantly standoffish and resistant to any type of communication and an effort to hold it like you would if you're around somebody that had betrayed your friend in that way. And I think that Yandy kind of taking a stand in that way and then feeling betrayed by Rasheeda not doing the same thing essentially when she had the opportunity. I think that those feelings are what kind of kicked all of this off. And then it from there.
I agree. It feels like Yandy feels that she's a better friend to Rasheeda than she thinks Rasheeda is to her. Like, hey, when your side chick to your dude was around, I wasn't kiki and caca with her. And when you hear something about me, you don't really be having my back like that. That's what I think Yandy's position. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. And that's in addition to you and Dustin are right. So that is what compounded this at first.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So Claudia and Dustin, that happened first.
Mm-hmm.
Then the show went on a break. And then I did a podcast interview with Kirk and Rasheeda while the episodes were airing. Okay.
Oh, the pot, Carlos King, didn't you?
I'm doing my job as a journalist. Hey, Portia. Now, yes, thank you. So I was asking questions about that scene, and that's when Kirk and Rasheeda was saying how Yandy is not their friend. When Yandy and Kirk were going through marital troubles, Rasheeda's real friends reached out to her, not Yandy. When their son, the older son, got into a car accident, Yandy did not reach out. These are things that Kirk and Rasheeda said in the interview. So they said, Carlos, we didn't break, Rasheeda's like, I didn't break no girl code. We're not friends. She's on the show. I've given her advice. I've given her the blueprint to open up a restaurant, liquor license, all these things. Like, Yandy and I were cool. The 5 years we've known each other, Rasheeda says she has spoke to Yandy on the phone 4 times, maybe 5 max in 5 years. She said we do not have a friendship. Where things got dicey was in that interview, Kirk and Rasheeda did intimate, based on the jabs that Medici and Yandy were throwing, that Yandy and Medici have an open marriage. They're not really married. They're not legally married. And that Medici is in the streets allegedly doing things with other women.
Can we
And
put
that
a pin in it right there for a second?
go right
Here's
ahead.
my issue, right? And this is where maturity has to kind of step into the room when you consider how you're going to handle a situation. At this point, those details that you just shared, that they shared, have nothing to do with the original conflict or the original feelings of resentment that started this kind of bad blood. To me, once you start throwing that kind of dirt, slinging those kind of details, what are you trying to do? I think that both Yandy and Rasheeda and Kirk and Mendices started sharing details to try to kind of break down each other's image to the public instead of just addressing what the conflict was head on or having the conversation about their relationship that it should have been. This is where things have now veered so far away from the original conflict, and now it's about who is the most pious or who has the most integrity, you know, as opposed to what they originally had a problem with. And that is what got this whole thing off the rails. They are so far off track that now they've taken their relationship to a point where it's irreparable damage. They're saying the type of shit about each other that you can't come back from. And you're not even done with what has been said by each party about the other one. You just getting started with the mudslinging by them. And it's already out of control. I hate that, but go ahead.
I think neither one of the couples are in a position to be the moral police on what marriage would look like. Honestly, I like all four of them. Okay, just to be about keep it a buck with y'all. I do. I'm not trying to trash either one of them, but when you know you have so much stuff in your own life, to kind of just be like, well, look over here, look at them, it kind of takes away a little bit from your argument, because you know you would be mad if someone did that to you. So I feel like they both need to not be throwing shots about marriage and about fidelity. These are the four people in reality television that should probably be on the Beyonce Mute Challenge when it comes to talking about fidelity and about like that. Because
everybody on mute.
Yeah, everybody on mute, because they've all kind of been through some things. And to their credit, for all four of them, they've battled through a lot of shit that a lot of people wouldn't be able, or be like, it wouldn't be me, girl. And they have. They've chosen to try to work it out with their people and keep it together and through their ups and downs. I don't know where Medicis and Yancy is right now, but like let's give credit where credit's due. For reality TV or even marriage, period, they've all been together for a long time, but I don't think they should be throwing that kind of mud at each other when we can easily flip through the episodes of the past and find evidence to support both cases of both them having marriages that have a lot of issues. At the very least, you know, I hated that part.
Well, that was the thing. It was okay. So in the interview that I did with them, Kirk and Rasheeda felt that they similar to what we just talked about with K Michelle, right? How perhaps Robyn caught the stray of K Michelle being so tired of people questioning why she's on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, allegedly. Now, with that being said, Claudia, shut up.
She was in here in Dallas filming with them. Okay, I'm snitching.
Oh my God, you snitch!
Stella Jet company, Stella Jet, that's out of Dallas. The owner flew them out here. So all this pictures that everybody's showing right now is because they were filming and they were flown here at private jet to Dallas. I wasn't able to be there because I was working on my movie. If not, I was going to be at the gala on Friday.
Claudia, we are talking about Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta. Okay.
Well, you brought it up.
Thank you. So anyway, you said,
I don't know. I'm tired.
It's okay, fine. Anyway, so I saw that to say, Kirk and Rasheeda, in my interview with them, I got this sense that they were sick and tired of being the punching bag and the only couple on the show that experienced infidelity, and that other people on the show. I'm not saying this. This is what they were saying. It was one of those things where you can't throw shade at me when I know your house is full of glass. That's how they felt. And they wanted to put out there, like Dustin said, your shit ain't sweet either. So I did ask, do y'all think Yandy and Medici are in an open relationship. They never said yes or no, but they did say, look, we've seen things, and I'll leave it at that. Dustin has company. So they said we've seen things, and we'll leave it at that.
That was a bell of someone arriving. That wasn't a phone. That was definitely downstairs from the concierge and someone trying to get upstairs in that thing, in that rooftop.
I know, and look at his shirt. The first 4 letters of his shirt, Claudia.
He's mad. I love that.
Look what's underneath it. Will Smith slapping the shit out of Chris Rock on the Oscars.
I am done. Oh my gosh. Is the Oscars now ratchet because a slap happened? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. So with that being said, that's the podcast raindrops that Yandy is referring to in her sit down conversation. So that interview made Yandy and Medici upset to the point where that now became the storyline of the season. So that's now catching up to why the sit down happened. So raindrops, y'all follow, y'all get it. Okay.
Now, you are shadow producing the show.
I shadow produce a lot of shows.
Clearly.
So the thing is, Claudia, they finally had the sit down. Me and Dustin watched the show. It got to the point, Dustin, I was like, are they ever going to talk? Because Claudia, they spoke about the podcast in every episode, but they never had a one-on-one. They finally had the one-on-one. And
how you feel about them referring to your shit like that? Because they were saying the podcast, Yandy specifically was saying the podcast as if the interview they had done was some lowbrow. You know what I'm saying? How did you feel about that? It reminded me of when you and Dr. Simone had that moment where she referred to you as a blogger on Watch What Happens Live, and y'all pieced it up. You know what I'm saying? Of course, she a woman. How far is it gonna go? Yeah. But how did it make you feel when Yandy was saying, like, you know, they're doing that, they doing podcasts? How did that make you feel, Los?
I'll be very honest with you, and this is me being very honest. I'll start by saying this: Yandy and I did not talk about this at all. And I'll follow up by saying there's no need to have a conversation. I think, and this is why you always got to look at the person and the messenger. When Yandy was saying the podcast, you on podcast, I knew that had nothing to do with Carlos King.
Right.
It had nothing to do with Carlos King. What Yandy to me was intimating is, while you out there doing interviews, I'm out here making money. So I didn't take it as she was dissing me. Me and Yandy are fine. We were commenting on each other's IG today and yesterday. And I'm being honest, I didn't take it personally. I do feel like when it comes to Yandy, who, by the way, I have asked to come on my podcast.
My next question.
Oh yeah, no, and to be fair, I've asked Yandy to come on my podcast last year. And she respectfully declined and just said she's not in the space to do it. Yandy, you can still come on, but I didn't take offense to it. Now, with that being said, I do think this. I think you have two women who are tired of being the butt of the jokes based on their partner's indiscretion, allegedly, when it comes to Medici, right? Because Medici has not, from my understanding, Dustin, tell me if I got this wrong, Medici, from my understanding, has not been caught cheating. From my understanding, meaning video and factual evidence, and the producing of another baby. Claudia, if you know anything, I don't know anything, right? I know children. So, but I think I think this. I think both women, unfortunately, are just tired of it, and they wanted to address each other in that form. You could tell they did not want to be there. You can tell they really was pushed to be there to have a conversation. But Dustin, starting with the conversation, what did you think of it? And then Claudia, I'll get to you too.
I think that they both looked at it as a match, not a conversation. I think both ladies approached it with a desire to win as opposed to a desire to seek clarity or to attain clarity. And that being said, it was doomed from the start, man. I think they was both just trying to not get hold in an argument. You know what I'm saying? They was both trying to just not lose an argument. And that is not the way toward any sort of real resolve. I also think that we know now for sure that they were never truly friends. Ever. They were never really friends. I think that Kirk and Rasheeda have been clear about that. I think that Yandy would have been down to say we're friends and then build a friendship out from that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I don't think Rasheeda really approached it that way. And this is the culmination of all of that. At that table, we literally saw people come with, I think that Rasheeda was kind of going off the dome. I think Yandy had been in the booth a little bit before she came because the whole, while I'm yelling for the culture, you stay impressed. You know what I'm saying? That was this. What is this? Is this Queen of the Ring? It's a freestyle battle. You know, what is this? Because Yandy, you obviously wrote that. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I didn't like seeing them go at each other like that. I
No.
did, because I feel like it's a conversation that could have really not even, it just never had to go this far, because all they had to do was have a conversation about feelings and gain clarity on their relationship, and they could have avoided it. So I hated to see them resort to slinging insults and all that other shit. And even like after it ended, the way Rasheeda kind of like started laughing, it was like, okay, let's go. They both looked at that showdown. You know what I mean? They looked at it
Yeah.
as a showdown as opposed to a conversation to like gain clarity and move forward.
I was gonna say to get a resolve. I definitely see your point with that. What did you think about the sit down, Claudia?
I want to say when it comes to Yandy and Rasheeda, like they're more similar than different. And a lot of their problems are not from each other; they're from the person that they're in the bed with. And the sooner they realize that, the better. There's no need for these two to be fighting each other. They actually should be leaning on each other for support, getting through a marriage with infidelity issues, being the butt of jokes for years. That's got to be taxing on your marriage. You know, the person they're really mad at is the person that a lot of times, like, you know, you be mad at the other women, but it really is the person that's right next to you. You need to probably have that conversation with. It seems like with Kurt and Rasheeda, they've gotten through things like when they are like being dragged, it seems like it almost makes their bond stronger. Like they choose to like we're gonna fight this together, you know. They don't be beefing with each other when sometimes they probably should be beefing with each other about the things that are happening that are trying to drive a wedge to them. And they kind of like bossed up against the world, and it's Yandy, it's her, it's them, it's this person. But really they have things that they need to work on outside the cameras. I think reality TV is fucking them up. Because of that, you know, you got to go do an interview on a podcast, on a talk show, or whatever. And a lot of stuff.
Claudia!
I mean, it is the best podcast and talk show out there. If you're going to be on one, be on yours. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, you know, a lot of these problems probably would not be exacerbated like this if they weren't on a reality show, and they have fans that they have to that they got to answer to, and they got to read again. Dustin, you said it earlier, the comments are ruining the shows because people wouldn't move the way they move in real life if they didn't have to. They weren't at the mercy of the comments. Because in real life, if my man had a baby on me, I'm not taking it to a fucking talk show. I'm gonna go probably slap the shit out of him, and we probably will break up, or we'll do, or whatever. Or if we decide to stay together, I don't have to like explain it to people over and over again. Go. Taxing on Rasheeda, and she was innocent in that, you know. And then now my enemies have a bullet to use against me in the next fight. As far as like Yandy and Mendices, who knows what their relationship is like? Who knows the inner working? But we do know that she held down a man while he was in prison, and who knows what the infidelity? Who knows? But like now they're beefing with each other because honestly, let's be clear. If they weren't on a reality show, they probably would be homies. You know what I mean? Like they probably could actually be really good friends. But like the pressures of what everybody else thinks, and this one's stupid, and this one's a liar, and we're sick of your narrative. It just makes everything worse times 10. But I think in both situations, their problems are internally in the house. And Yandy's problem isn't really Rasheeda, and Rasheeda's problem isn't really Yandy. It's who they're married to. It's their marriages. Not saying the men are all guilty, but I'm saying like they have issues that they, and you know, when your man embarrasses you or puts shit out there, you have to defend it. You have to like, you have all these secondary. You know who's laughing at all this? Jasmine. Sitting back. She done caused wreaking havoc in everybody's life right now. She's sitting back, and that's why I don't respect side bitches. Side chicks. I really don't. Be mad, Jasmine. don't care, wouldn't recognize if I saw you. But I like when you know someone's in a relationship and you're gonna have a baby with them, I just can't respect it, you know. And look at how many other problems it causes. And it's not all her fault, of course, because someone had to invite her into that situation. But I hate that these two are fighting because, like I said, I like them both. They both been around for a long time. I would love to see them turn it around. Like you can show an example of a marriage that has gone through a lot and coming out on the other side of it in a good way, right? But it got to make sense. Like I would love for like people to really take accountability and be like, you know what? Yeah, he got a baby and blah blah blah, and we worked through it. But like instead of just like making your bond stronger to like fight other people, you need to work with what's happening in your house. That's what I think.
Well, no, I agree with you. Listen, you have Yandy and Rasheeda, who are two successful Black women who are super successful in their own endeavors. And what's interesting is I actually agree with you in terms of like, look, I think if they, and I agree with Dustin, I think if the intention was to sit down, resolve it, there's no better women than those two on that show that can actually sit down and hear each other out to resolve it. I think they're both just fed up with each other. I think, and I also agree with you, Claudia, like, I don't know what it's like to be a woman where you're constantly being attacked by the actions of your husband or your male partner, and how people feel like that's a dig. We're dealing with that on this season of Bell Collective out October 3rd, where, not to give it away, but a woman literally said, what my man did, I felt like these women used that against me. And that's the shade in their arsenal. And I do feel like that's what, unfortunately, Rasheeda and Yandy have to go through. And listen, Kirk made a mistake. He owned up to his mistake. Just because you make a mistake does not mean you're a bad person. I love the fact, this is my opinion, and y'all ain't gotta like it. I do love the fact that Kirk and Rasheeda were able to work past their issues and save their marriage. That's not for everybody, and that's not everybody's story. That is their story, right? I love the fact that that Yandy, a smart businesswoman, said, "Look, I love him in DC.
100%.
Unfortunately, I don't want to get married to you right now." Because Yandy is a smart businesswoman. And I love the fact that Yandy did something that worked for her. I think what we all have to do collectively, look, there's a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas in the comment section that you don't know what you will do unless you're in that situation. And that's why I give both women props and both couples props for doing what works for them. Now, with that being said, one of the biggest things that happened that has been a debate is both ladies had an argument over who is the queen of love and hip hop. So in the sit down conversation, Yandy said Dustin excels like Whitney Houston. Yandy said, I gave you a job. Rasheeda says, okay, Jim Jones assistant. Rasheeda said, me and Kurt are the king and queen of the Atlanta franchise. Yandy, your show got canceled. That show would be Love and Hip Hop New York. Yandy posted on her Instagram page a montage of clips where she explained the origin of Love and Hip Hop. I wanna read to y'all what she said, and then I want to know if y'all feel like that even matters. I got a sense I know how Dustin feels. So this is the way it works, and this is somebody. Dustin, I can't take you. Yandy posted a montage clip, Claudia, where she's on the red carpet, and the way Love and Hip Hop happened is this. Yandy managed Jim Jones. Yandy plus Jim Jones and Chrissy pitched a show about them. That is a fact. I know that's a fact. The show was going to be called, spoiler alert, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Bam. Now, at the time, VH1 wanted an ensemble show to complement the success of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and the success of Basketball Wives. Mona Scott Young was approached with the business with these other producers to figure out what that show could be, Yandy used to be Mona's intern. Yandy showed Mona Scott Young the tape. Mona decided like this could be something to broaden this out, and instead of making this a show about the couple, let's make this a show about the women behind hip hop, which is Mona Scott Young's territory. The show became Love and Hip Hop, right? Yandy was not a part of it season 1. Yandy joined season 2 or 3. I forget. I think 2. So that's why Yandy made the dig. Rasheeda and Kirk feel like because they are the OGs who started Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 1 and survived it after K. Michelle left, after Stevie J and Jocelyn, Mimi left, after all these people, that they are the
network switch.
A network
switch, yeah.
After a network switch, the show's not on MTV. Love and Hip Hop New York, as of today, has not been on the air in a couple of years. It does appear not to ever come back. Yandy moved to Atlanta, got on the show, and that's why the argument ensued. Does that matter to you, Dustin Ross?
You might as well ask Claudia first so we can get the answer and then come back to me so I can wrap it up. Yeah. Actually, hold on. Let me go on and do this, sister. Hold on, Claudia. This is so fucking stupid. Because what are we even debating, right? Oh, well, who's really the king? Who is the one? Whose is it? This is fucking stupid and way beneath all parties involved. What the fuck are you even debating? Yes, the origin story is what it is, but what are you saying? We the king and queen of this because we the most popular. None of y'all are the most popular people from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Not Yandy and Mendices, and unfortunately not Rasheeda and Kirk either. If we're having a popularity contest here, we know who's going to take the crown of king and queen from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We don't even have to say their names.
I'll say Jocelyn, Mimi, and Stevie J.
Thank you. So why are we having a popularity contest at all of our big ages? I'm very sorry, but I feel like this whole debate conversation is stupid as fuck, and they look like idiots even arguing about it. It's stupid and petty to introduce all that old footage. People know the history of these shows. You can't negate that. Like, it is what it is. If you were a part of that process, you were, and the audience knowing that does nothing to move the needle for Yandy. Absolutely nothing. So I just think it's fucking stupid, and it's a prime example of them playing to the audience in the comment section, and that spilling over into real life. That's why they look like fools arguing about it. So now, if you want a substantive answer, somebody really take a look at it, I'm gonna pass it on over to my sister Claudia. Okay.
Oh, I'm not gonna give substance answer.
I think it's dumb as fuck.
Oh, I'm not giving no substance. This shit is dumb. When I hear people saying, like, even I'm a king, I'm a king of LA, or I run this, or I'm the king and queen of Atlanta. No, you're not the king. No, nobody is. And if we were going to have an imaginary title, again, it was the 3-way crown situation, triple crown.
Triple crown. Yes.
Mimi and Jocelyn. That's when you can say they are very identifiable. I feel like everybody else, I think they were on a tier here, and everybody else was a support character in the Love and Hip Hop storyline. I feel like I think that was the greatest days of Love and Hip Hop when Carlos was working on it, I believe. I think that's what the glory years of the franchise. I think it's when it was the best. I feel like it wasn't fake. I feel like it was real. And I think that they weren't even on there trying to be the king and queen. They just were, because they had compelling stories that we gave a fuck about. I was trying to keep track so bad when you was explaining it. Not that you're boring, Carlos, but the argument is boring. Like, I'm like, what? I'm going to start saying I'm the queen of Dallas and see if anybody fights me for the title. And see how
like, how old are we, right, Claudia? How fucking old are we?
Yeah.
Well, the reason why it was relevant to the scene is because in the interview with Kirk and Rasheeda and myself, Kirk did say that, this is what Kirk said. Kirk did say that he and Mendici had a conversation, and that Mendici allegedly made a comment that he was coming for their spot.
If he did, that was
there's no spot to come for.
And that was dumb on his part, if that's true. That was stupid as fuck and very immature. And it was stupid for Kirk, stupid as fuck, since I'm cussing now. And I know they love it when I cuss, right? I heard they've been talking shit about that too. Fuck y'all. I'm gonna say it how I want to say it. Now, if Mendici said,
not
if
your
Mendici
sister's telling you what they be saying, Dusty.
cousins and them, they be on it. You know what I'm saying? And I fuck y'all. I'm explaining how I want to say it. Sometimes you need to cuss for emphasis. Okay. Anyway, if Mendici said it, that was stupid. If Kirk took that and responded to it, and now it turned into all this, that was stupid. Stupid, because it's an imaginary thing that doesn't exist. There is no king and queen of love and hip hop.
About Mama D though, Mama D.
Well, she can't even. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Y'all are wild.
I'm not gonna do that. But no, I'll just say that.
Okay, good. Okay, that was your ancestors, your cousin and your sister, withholding that tongue. Okay, there we go. So one of the things that happened this scene, in addition to that debate, was the Atlanta hat fail. So look, I love that moment because for me, I like it. Y'all know me. I have a weird sense of humor. I thought that was funny.
You feel like it added levity to a heavy moment, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Dustin. That's exactly how I felt. So they're talking about who's the queen of Atlanta. Yandy points to her hat with the A on it, said, "Girl, it's me. That's why I wore the A." Rasheeda's like, "That's an Angel's hat, not even Atlanta. You don't know what Atlanta is. You're from a whole nother country." I thought that was hilarious. Dustin and Claudia, I don't know if y'all know this, but somebody on Yandy's Instagram page tried to get her for it, and Yandy responded. And I want to read y'all Yandy's response, okay? All right. So with that being said, let me find it. Okay, here it is. Wait a second.
Okay, while you're my kitty's name is Seven.
Hey, Seven.
Her name's Seven. What's her middle name?
I need a middle name for her.
I thought you had two. Oh, it's just Seven Jordan. That's what you said. Her name is Seven Smoke Jordan. That's her name.
Smoke, right?
Yeah.
But anyways,
I think she deleted it. Okay, here it is. Okay. So the comment was, this was from @the_Pizza_Papo 3.0. He commented on Yandy's page, "Now make a post addressing why you were trying to flex that Los Angeles Angels baseball cap, calling it Atlanta. How did you not know?" Yandy responded, "I don't know sports. I get money. Never watch a full game of anything. I wore it to represent the letter A for Atlanta. I still don't know the team, and I'll wear it again to rep the A if I want to."
You know what this is giving me? Similar to when Shamia and Drew, the whole argument over the bag. We don't care. At this point, they're just trying to get a win. Stop putting your butthole on camera. They're trying to get a win anywhere they could. And no one cares. Like, there's bigger issues here that we could be talking about. So I'm over. I don't care. Another queen of Atlanta. I don't give it. Sierra. Like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, king and queen of Atlanta, the hat. Monica. Yeah. Miss
So,
Juicy.
you know, Miss Juicy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Candy.
Candy.
Portia.
Yeah. Y'all are...
Drew Fedora. Shamia. Britt. Kelly.
Diamond from Crime Mob. Hell, Pluto, the new girl, Pluto. Okay, I want to say, pull a skirt up, little nigga. Use a bitch.
You know, this is like Tiny like that. Tiny.
Like niece.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Tiny.
No.
Harry Hilton.
Hell, Eris Harris. Hell.
Y'all.
Tiny daughter, Eris. Yeah. Shit.
Okay, wait. Claudia Dustin. Raindrops in the comments. Let me know who y'all consider to be the queen of Atlanta.
You about to make me turn these comments on.
Who is the queen of Atlanta, Raindrops? Let me know in the comments. Ready, set, go. Shakana, Nene Leaks, Diamond, Harris, Sierra, Tiny, Mama D, Bunny B, Mama D, Candy, Candy, Nene, Rasheeda, Jada Waiter, Candy, Jocelyn, Carlos King.
Yes.
Y'all tried that. I'm not the queen of Atlanta. Y'all are messy. Mama D, Candy, Nene, Dr. Jackie, Jada Waiter, Candy, Nene, Akbar.
It might be Candy, It might be Candy.
Okay, so listen, I'm not lying.
Dr. Heaven.
As of now, it's looking like a tie between Nene and Candy.
Okay.
And coming in third is Mama D.
Tiny's kind of got a few too.
Monica is definitely in there. I don't care what nobody say. Monica is definitely
Miss Juicy Baby's catching up.
Someone said Stacey Abrams.
I love Stacey Abrams. I love Stacey Abrams, but that is funny.
All right, it's looking like it's between Okay, based on the raindrops, we got 4,000 people. Y'all are hilarious. We got 4,000 people in the comments.
Tamar.
No.
I see Fannie Willis. I see the Brad. Selena Johnson. Y'all are messy.
Selena Johnson, but she's more Chicago. Selena more Chicago than she is Atlanta. Selena reps Chicago. Yeah.
Based on this, as of now, I think it's a tie between Nene and Candy based on the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all agree, Claudia? Claudia, you're reading it. So yeah. It's looking like
now you guys just give us between Nene and Candy. How about that?
Okay. Thank you. As Claudia said, raindrops. Between Nene and Candy, who is the queen of Atlanta? Because those were the two that got the most votes in the comments. Ready, set, go. Candy, Nene, Candy, Nene. Jermaine, y'all tried it. Candy, Nene, Candy, Nene, Nene.
Claudia, Stacey Abrams is about to take
Claudia,
you to the
don't
floor.
say it. Claudia, no. That's it. Claudia saw the name I saw. Claudia, do not say the name. Claudia, we saw the same person's name. Stop it. Don't say it. Please.
It's Candy. Everybody knows Candy. Candy got deep roots. She's Atlanta all day. It's Candy. And I miss her on the show.
They said Tyler Perry.
You just sent it.
Moving on. Messy. So, okay, y'all. Moving on. All right.
I voted for Stacey Abrams. She got the most.
Stacey Abrams is funny as fuck to me. Not that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right.
Why is it so funny?
Claudia's crying. No. Okay, guys. Okay. Last thing, raindrops. Last thing. They're crying. Between Rasheeda and Yandy. Between Rasheeda and Yandy only. Who is the queen of love and hip hop Atlanta?
Stacey Abrams.
Young.
Ready, set, go. Rasheeda, Yandy. Rasheeda all day. Yandy, neither. Yandy, neither. Yandy. Rasheeda, neither. Rasheeda, Yandy, neither. Yandy. Rasheeda. I'm done.
I'm done. I'm done with the raindrops tonight. Damn, y'all need to stop. Oh my god.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, anyways, I want to end by asking my panel this. Okay. I'm so glad we did this episode.
Me too.
Okay.
It's actually Miss Charlene. It's Rasheeda mama. Remember when she backed up over that bike?
Oh,
yeah. She in that car as her. Yep.
That shit caught on fire and everything.
Her hair was the same color as Carlos Mike. She backed up over that bike. In a Ford. What was that Ford called? A Ford Freestyle. What was that Ford called? I remember because it's like a burgundy Ford SUV, and she backed right up over that dirt bike. Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I can't. Okay, my last question of the night is this: Claudia and Dustin. Start with
Lord.
Claudia. Claudia,
Mm.
do you think Yandy and Rasheeda can get past this and one day become friends?
Yeah, they've gone through and put up with so much more from their mates. You know what I'm saying? Like that. This should be this should be an easy. This should be a weekend, a girls trip or a lunch. They can probably get through this. This is not that big of a deal. It's just a little bit of mudslinging. There's a little tit for tat going on right now. At the end of the day, they both understand the positions they're in. Being in public relationships, having their lives torn apart and picked at, you know, and they're both business women. I would love to see them cool. Like, I like them both. I really, really do. I really like them both. And I would like to see them like get past this. I think it'd be a dope example. We don't have many of those. And what they're arguing over to me is not like end of the world, like you are my best friend, you told my secrets. It's kind of like surface stuff that's more annoying. And probably, again, if it wasn't for the pressures of reality TV in the comment section, probably would even respond to half of the shit. It's like not that, it ain't like, you know, it ain't no end of the world type shit. Like, I think they can get past this. But you have too many people watching, chiming in like us, but in the fans, you know, so it makes it a little harder. So I would like for them to be cool.
Yeah, I agree with everything Claudia said. The only caveat I'll make is that I think that the fact that they've both been through worse things with their partners, with their romantic partners, I think that that is also the fuel that they have to want to go to blood with each other in this conflict, because they're both tired of being embarrassed, you know, in public opinion, right? They're tired of being embarrassed in different situations. Yandy, people tried to embarrass Yandy for staying down with Mendeecees while he was in jail. People tried to embarrass Yandy for the alleged cheating rumors about Mendeecees' alleged infidelities. People have tried to embarrass Rasheeda about Kirk being in a hot tub with Bambi and them, and then Kirk having a illegitimate child, you know, and her staying with him thereafter. They tried to embarrass her for that. And I think they both are in a position where they want to allow the world to see them not be a punk. And so it's fueling them to continue going lower and lower and lower and lower with each other, when in reality, Claudia is 100% right. This is not rooted in anything, you know, grossly egregious other than rumor sharing and mudslinging, right? So they could actually get past it. But I think because they're both sick of being embarrassed and thinking that people perceive them to be a punk, I think that that's why they're continuing to go at each other's jugulars. And it's actually sad to me, because I'm with Claudia. I'd rather see them get along.
Kind of miss anger, kind of like how we started the show. We talked about the whole next 15 Jennifer Williams thing. We have no real reason to fight, because you don't want to. The last person made me look like I'm weak or a punk. So let me just like show I'm really not a punk to someone that kind of doesn't even really deserve it. If you really think about it, like they don't really have a real issue. So yeah. Well,
yeah, no, like, I agree.
And psychoanalyzing and stuff.
I agree. I agree. Listen, I want them to get past this. I think they're able to get past this. I don't think anything happened to where it was below the belt. I think, look, I looked at this scene as entertaining in terms of like, look, y'all got y'all digs in. Y'all gave us some viral moments to talk about. Y'all did y'all job as reality queens. But to me, it is something that I think they could get past. I really do. I don't think it's that deep, personally. So we'll see. All right,
just
Claudia.
Michelle Barron slack jaw ass calling me a bitch in the comments on Monday night just for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like completely unprompted. Dustin's a bitch, and I see her spatula jaw ass picture talking about I'm a bitch. I've seen that. That's just rude, man. I ain't do nothing to her. So people just gonna people. People are going to people, unfortunately, and they're gonna go against their good sense sometimes. It's sad to see.
That's what happens.
We live to see another day. What Stacey say? And still we rise, right, Carlo?
Yeah, still I rise. And we'll talk about the sneak peek of Potomac on Monday, because because Stacey is back and Stacey threw some shots, and I love it.
She certainly did.
It was good. It was good. All right, so Claudia will come back. Let me just read the super chats and then y'all can go as well. Hey Greg again. Carlos, you late. You said 798. I have an Atlanta side piece waiting for me. Well, Dustin does too, but his side piece knows to come at a certain time and ring the doorbell, child. Okay, we saw that. We got Shady Scrubber Style, Director of Nursing, preparing for survey all day. I needed this. We are so happy that you are
Congratulations,
here.
family.
Yes, we love that. Angie Ringo, Claudia Southern is beautiful. Love her
Yes.
already.
Yes, she is.
I'm sorry, y'all. My Wi-Fi is. I had a
That's
text
okay.
come out. They're waiting for a piece. It's getting delivered tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't know. It's just ghetto.
It's okay. It's okay.
No.
Leah M. I only wonder why this is primarily happening on Black Bravo shows. I'm assuming talking about the combo about K. Michelle. King Greg laughing my ass off. I love Dustin's raw commentary.
Everybody like it raw.
Jakira Stewart, baby, that K. Michelle clapback was on par with Stacey telling Ashley she needs to be Googling vocal coaches. We'll talk about that on Monday. Aisha Gleason, thank you. Thank you again. True PYT. If Cardi B can outgrow Love and Hip Hop, why can't K. Michelle? Valid points are being made because I wasn't sure. Claudia Gregg said you have used all her data on her other show, child.
Shout out to Accidentally Informed.
Shout out to her. That and Erica Cobb.
Yes.
Oh, we went.
Amina the City asks Dustin if he likes the dolls. He is so fine.
Oh, thank you, Amina.
Greg, class people, class. Greg also said Yandy says she brings ratings, but her show New York is where again? Yandy is the queen of lies. TV friends and real friends are very different. Shout out to Yvette Colbert.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. That will go towards our tour. AC. If y'all want to see me, Claudia, and Dustin on the road, let me know in the comments. All right. Yep. AC, Yandy is an EP. Put some respect on her name. Mrs. D. Green said, now, Yandy, stop the cap on the cap. You messed up. Leah said, Medicis didn't say that. New York, Medici is activated. Paige said, Candy was born, raised in Atlanta. Needy is from Athens. So it's Candy. Okay. Nick said they need to bring back Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reunions. Claudia, you did an excellent job hosting the reunions.
Yes, you did. And they need to call you this year. They're having a great season this year. They're having a great season right now, and you definitely should host a reunion.
You are really good.
Thank you.
Seriously, I watched it.
That's a big compliment coming from you both. It was fun and it was a cute check. So I would love to, you know what happened before COVID? I signed a deal to host all the reunions for 2 years. And it was like several $100,000 deal. And I was so excited. So we did the first one. I got my check. I was like, hell yeah. Like that's a year's salary for one day. Right. And then COVID hit 1 week after I left Atlanta. And then we waited like another year and change, almost 2 years for the Love and Hip Hop in Miami. So it's kind of in the air. They don't know if they're going to continue. They're leaning towards not doing reunions, but I think they got to.
They need to.
No, they need to. They need to. Basketball Wives deserve the reunion. I think, listen, I think all reality shows need a reunion. I think the Braxtons need a reunion. Love and Hip Hop, all the franchises. So,
you gotta address all the things you couldn't get to during the season. Like
it's weird. I think all shows need a reunion to move forward. But
yeah, and I heard that, just one note, I did hear that Basketball Wives was on a mid-season break, and then they're gonna return with new episodes and a reunion for this season afterward. That's what I heard. So
yeah, they had a reunion.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's not true.
Okay, well, my bad for this information, y'all. Look,
what's not true?
Pop a balloon.
No, Dustin, I saw the same thing. Claudia, Dustin was saying that some shows split. Love and Hip Hop does it. They split their seasons in two. So Dustin was saying he heard that there's another season coming plus a reunion. But that season that we saw, Jackie Christie and her daughter, that was it.
Damn, for real.
Yes, and then we have to see whether or not everybody's back, Dustin.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the last scene of that. Last comment is for you, Dustin. Candace Kid Learning Solutions said, Dustin, flip the switch. Let's get married.
Because it's that easy. Yeah, I appreciate the compliment. She mean that in love, so thank you. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Claudia, Dustin, I love you guys. If there's anything you want to promote, let me know. You have the floor.
You want to go first, my friend? I'm
You
trying to
got
think.
it. I just shout out to the Friend Zone podcast. We dropped a new episode today. You can catch us every Wednesday. We've been doing this shit for 10 years. You can catch us every Wednesday where all podcasts are heard. And yeah, that's all I can say today.
Oh, busy. We love
See
to
y'all soon with more announcements. Go ahead, Claudia, baby.
happy belated birthday to Ebony K. Williams.
Yes.
Yes.
Happy birthday to my girl. Yes, love you,
her.
E.
The Accidentally Informed podcast. We had a really good show tonight. Eric and I got very emotional about how this government is covering up for pedophiles and how we are both outraged and how women that support the Republican Party can co-sign this. So please go ahead and check that episode and run those numbers up for us. I am doing something this weekend. I will be in DC Black Caucus weekend. So y'all should probably join me. That's a fun weekend to be in.
CBC, yes.
And I will be in Rhode Island this week for Jeffrey Osborne's celebrity golf tournament. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm still gonna do the show, don't worry. And it's so fun. Like Johnny Gilby there, and John B. and Freddie. Everyone's there. Like Magic Johnson has come. It's a really great event, and it brings a lot of money to the Boys and Girls Club in Rhode Island. So Jeffrey Osborne is one of our few celebs from Rhode Island. So it's a great venue. So fun. We have a good time.
You about to make me play some Jeffrey out, or not even Jeffrey. You about to make me play some LTD. How about that?
And he let me tell you something about that man. And he recently lost his wife, rest in peace, and she is amazing. Her. He sounds exactly like he does in his albums live. That is a live performer. That is a real talented man. Jeffrey Osborne, if you have not seen him at concert, please, him and Charlie Wilson, top.
Still got it. Yep.
Top tier. Yeah. Dustin, Cole, what you doing this weekend? Who are you doing?
I'll be chilling. I just need to relax and just chill. And
really? That's
all.
So
that's all. So, anyways, love you guys so much. I will see y'all on Monday.
Yeah, okay.
Love you, Raindrops. Love y'all. Bye.
Love you, Raindrops.